these people disappeared and were never found. To this day, no one knows exactly what happened to pilot Amelia Earhart and her navigator during their attempt to circumnavigate the globe. Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, were attempting to fly around the world when their plane disappeared over the Pacific Ocean on July 2, 1937. Since then, not a single trace of Earhart, Noonan, or their plane has ever been recovered. The most widely accepted theory is that their flight simply ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean. But there are other theories. Some are unlikely, others are far more believable. One theory recently gained attention after a photograph was discovered in the National Archives. The image appears to show a woman and a man who closely resemble Earhart and Noonan standing on a dock near the island of Saipan. Some believe this photo proves they were captured by the Japanese military. However, the Japanese military has repeatedly denied this claim. But still, to this day, there's no real proof of them. In August 2021, a 22-year-old American travel vlogger, Gabrielle Venora Petito, was killed by her fiancé, Brian Christopher Laundrie, while they were traveling together on a van life journey across the United States. The trip was supposed to last 4 months, and it began on July 2, 2021. But on August 27th, Petito disappeared. But wait, how did this happen? Where did it happen, and why? Let's start from the beginning. Gabrielle Venora Petito was born on March 19, 1999, and raised in Blue Point, New York. She grew up with 6 younger siblings and half-siblings. In 2013, Petito and her stepbrothers appeared in a music video, raising awareness about gun violence in the United States in response to the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. In 2017, she graduated from Bayport Blue Point High School, where she met Brian Christopher Laundrie. After graduating, she moved to Carolina Beach, North Carolina, where she worked as a hostess and in a restaurant kitchen in nearby Wilmington. She applied to Cape Fear Community College, but never attended. Petito began dating Laundrie in March 2019. She moved in with him and his parents in Northport, Florida. They both worked at a Publix. She was a pharmacy technician, and he worked in the grocery department. When the COVID-19 pandemic began, they quit their jobs. Later, they went on a cross-country trip from New York to California. They visited places like Las Vegas, Yosemite National Park, and Pismo Beach. In March 2020, Petito turned 21 in Florida. By June, they were traveling again, visiting Georgia. A month later, they got engaged. In December 2020, Petito bought a camper van for their next trip. To afford the journey, she worked long hours, while Laundrie worked at a juice bar. During this time, Petito shared her life online, on YouTube and Instagram, posting about art, yoga, and her lifestyle. After Petito disappeared, suspicion quickly fell on Laundrie. He drove the van from Wyoming all the way back to his parents' home in Florida and refused to say where she was. Authorities soon named him a person of interest. An arrest warrant was issued after he was accused of making unauthorized withdrawals using Petito's debit card. Then, on September 13th, he left his home. 4 days later, he was reported missing. This whole situation is big enough for a whole video for it. If you wanted to deep dive into this crime, just tell me in the comments. Disappearance of Lars Mittank. Lars Joachim Mittank was a German man. who disappeared on July 8, 2014, near Varna Airport in Bulgaria. He was on holiday at the Golden Sands Resort. After a fight, he was unable to fly home with his friends. While alone, he began acting strangely. He called his mother and told her that people were trying to kill him. On the day he was supposed to leave, he went to Varna Airport to see a doctor. Then, he was caught on security cameras, suddenly running out of the airport and toward a nearby forest. He was never seen again. This case gained massive attention online, and the footage of him running made him known as the most famous missing person on YouTube.